You know, one thing that'll keep people from being stagnant. One thing that'll keep, you know, us as forward moving men from spending a lot of years pondering and wondering on why certain people in our aren't in our lives anymore. You gotta understand, brothers, like that woman you encountered was never meant to be at your end goal with you. She was never meant to ride the whole thing out with you, man. And I'm saying that because a lot of us will end situations, end relationships, however they end. And a lot of us will waste a lot of time pondering on why a certain relationship is terminated, why certain things happen, why a person cheated, why a person lied, instead of just saying, you know what did I learn from that situation? What can I extract from that situation? Like as soon as we understand that everybody we encounter isn't meant to be in our life the long haul, brother, everything changes. And it's not just about relationships. It's not just about romantic relationships. It's about friendships. It's about family members. Like, for example, nobody gets a job coming out of high school and has the end goal in their mind that's going to be the job they retire from. Like we all understand that, hey, you know what? This is my first job. I understand this job is supposed to teach me how to work with people. It's supposed to teach me how to work a cash register. It's supposed to teach me about what human resources is like. But at some point in time, I'm going to be somewhere else. Like, I can look back at my first job now and say, you know what? I understand why I was there. The good, the bad. I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't have that job at in high school, or that job as a younger man, right? So we have to look at relationships the same way. The woman you get with, every woman you encounter isn't meant to go the long haul with you, right? Now I can say this, bro. Like I can look at some past relationships, and I'm talking about even relationships that may have been over 10 years ago. And when that relationship first terminated, brother, you know, that 5-minute period of life, and that 5-minute period of life might be a month, it might be 2 months, it might be a year for some brothers. That 5-minute period of life, man, you're going to be pissed off. You're going to be trying to connect the dots. You're going to be trying to say, well, why she flip up on me, or why X, Y, Z, or why did I get tired of her? Why did I have to do X, Y? Like for 5 minutes, you're going to be trying to figure things out. But if you can just disconnect emotionally and look at the situation for what it was, man, you got to look at what you extracted from that situation. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at what lesson. The first thing is this. You got to understand this, man, and you won't really understand what I'm saying unless you first take accountability. Because I can look back at women I dated several years ago, and I was just like, how did she even get in my space? But that accountability part is saying, you know what, there's something about you that attracted that person. So the first thing, you got to take accountability for that person even being in your life. And then you got to say, okay, you know, now that this situation is over, now that the level of pistosity is gone, what did I extract from that situation? And I can look at past relationships. I can look at past friendships with partners and say, you know what, me and that person didn't like, we no longer vibe, but I can see exactly where you know, why that person was in my life, right? Even going back, for example, when I used to make red pill content. When I used to make red pill content, man, I used to do collaborations with people. I used to go live with people. I used to, you know, talk and text to different brothers. Those brothers aren't even on my radar now. Those brothers are brothers that I wouldn't even be able to have a conversation with. Not saying that those brothers aren't valuable, but I got to understand that they were valuable to me to learn certain things at that part of my life. It's the same thing when it comes to relationships, right? I can easily look at, and I'll use my last relationship because I talk about that a lot. I got videos on that, right? I can look at my last relationship, man, and if I'm honest with myself, I can see the red flags that I'd identified within myself. You know what I'm saying? Like even though I had a certain love for that person, to be honest, man, I never really saw myself growing old with that person. I saw myself maybe accomplishing, you know, some milestones and doing some nice things in life, but I never saw that person as a person that I could see myself on a porch, on a rocking chair type vibe with the long haul. And that should have been something inside of me. You know, and I can get online and I can make videos about certain characteristics and certain things we should learn. I can talk about Jezebel's spirit, and all those things are my truth, man. But at the same time, man, now, you know, now that it's over and I'm emotionally detached, like I'm neither hot nor cold about the situation, I can say, what did I extract from that situation, man? And if I'm honest with myself, brothers, if I'm honest with myself, I have to be grateful for it. I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back, man. The way my situation ended, all the things I talked about on how I say, you know what, this person that I talked to, like not only was I engaged to this person shouldn't have even known my first name, bro, to be honest. But looking back at the situation, I'm grateful for it. Because if I wouldn't have gone through that situation, there would be no Soul 4.0. The version of me that exists right now could have existed if I wouldn't have gone through that. So you got to understand, guys, a lot of times you're going to encounter these situations because you're going on a journey, but it's something that you have to learn before you get to that journey. That person that you meet isn't built for that journey, but they have something you have to go through. We can call it karmic lessons. We can call it all kind of names, but it's something you have to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be honest. There was a certain level of, I don't know if the word is naivety, whatever the word is. Like, there was a certain naive portion of me, man, that had to be uncovered and had to be corrected. Like, I heard guys get online and talk about relationships and women doing certain things, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Some of the stuff I hear brothers talk about, I had never experienced in my life. I've encountered women doing some foul things and some suspect things. I've never known for a fact that a woman I was talking to was entertaining something else in my life. And I understand now that, bro, there was a part of me that was naive to that. So it was a learning experience. Like, in other words, me getting to my end goal, I had to learn a lot about that situation, learn a lot in that lesson to get to where I'm going, man. So all I'm saying is, brothers, we gotta look at these situations like lessons. And I say that, man, and the reason I want to talk about this is because I talk to brothers on a regular basis, man, and I hear brothers all the time that are maybe 2 years out of a relationship, 3 years out of a relationship, 5 years out of a marriage, and they're still stagnant. They're still talking about the past. They're still talking from a place of not extracting what they learned and what they can take from that and move forward. And I know, like, y'all saw my transformation, man, because as soon as my relationship was over with, you know, several months ago, I was making content. Y'all brothers were coming online saying, "So you different." So I'm talking about damn near day one out of my relationship. Didn't nobody even know I was out the relationship. Brothers will comment on YouTube videos saying, "Bro, man, you tapped into something else. Your videos are doing something else." It's because a version of me didn't exist before that. If I wouldn't have went through my relationship, man, and had all that shit happen, bro, I would have still been in old soul mode. Not saying that I wasn't happy, but I wasn't tapped in as deep as I'm tapped into now. That's why I say, man, I gotta look at, like I'm always saying, brothers, all things work for the good. I had to take that bad situation, and again, after that 5 minutes of being pissed off of that 10 minutes of me spilling my truth, after that 15 minutes of me defending myself because people want to get in these streets and make up lies about soul, you know, of course I gotta drop the hammer. Of course I gotta speak my truth. But after all that shit is said and done, man, I can sit back, bro, emotionally detach myself from not just my previous relationship, but all my relationships. And even though, man, I have no interest of seeing any of my exes, hearing their voices, I can easily wish them well and say, you know what? I'm glad I encountered that person. Like, I'm glad I encountered the good times, but I'm damn sure glad I encountered the bad times, because the bad times is why I was there. The bad times is what uncovered levels of me that allow me to go deeper. The bad times is the parts inside of me that maybe allow me to tap into some trauma to understand why I respond the way I respond, or why I see the world the way I see it, or why I'm attracted to a certain type woman. A lot of us are attracted to certain type people, and we keep having the same scenarios over and over, and we're saying, hey, you know what, man? Why over the course of 15 years I keep attracting the exact same type woman? It's because you got to learn some shit in that, man. Like, I can easily look at my ex, and I can see the common denominator between her and all my exes, and say, you know what? I was going through these situations several years ago, man, but I wasn't learning the lesson. I finally learned the lesson, man. And as soon as I tapped into that, y'all brothers identified it before I identified it. So it's a real thing, man. So all I'm saying is, when you come out of these situations, man, of course, it's going to be 5 minutes where you pissed off, bro. 5 minutes, you're going to be pissed off. You're going to be trying to connect the dots, why things happen, why did cheat, who did whatever. But after that, man, just emotionally disconnect and say, you know what, this shit hurts, but what in the hell did I need to learn in that? And how can I take that and it benefit me? How can I take that information and go deeper within self? Because it's all about healing, bro. And when something bad happens in your life, man, you call it bad, call it what you want, but you gotta understand it's for a reason. It's for a reason, man. Everybody is not meant to be in your life for the long haul. And we can take this same information and go across the board with it. You know what I'm saying? Jobs. A lot of people you work with, a lot of your colleagues, family members. You got to understand, a lot of times, man, and again, I'm talking about people that are moving forward. I'm talking about the black sheep of the family. A lot of times you're born into families, man, that you aren't really meant to ride out like everybody else. Like everybody else is crunk on family reunions and the families are bond. A lot of people that move a certain way, like a lot of times, sometimes family is just meant to bring you into this third dimensional realm. Not saying it has to be beef, but if you vibrate so different, if you think so different, if you love and have compassion so different than the other portions of your family, man, it's just like sometimes you gotta understand that where I'm going, like, of course, we're going to always be family, but they can't energetically go to where I'm going. There has to be a disconnect. So again, going back to what I was saying, brothers, understand that woman in your life, man, you know, you might have some women in your life, man, you still might be pissed off at your girlfriend from the 8th grade, bro. Just emotionally disconnect from that situation, man, and analyze it. Analyze what it was that pissed you off. Analyze what it was inside of you that allowed for the bullshit to take place. Because the bullshit can only take place if you didn't have certain barriers up. If you didn't have some rules within yourself set up that would have taken place, man. So it's all just a learning experience, bro. She was never meant to get to your end destination, brothers.